nothing new for the Giants, as they once again will be asked to do what they've had to do much of this season, and that is play catch-up.
Well, they went through this on Friday night, down 4-0. But when you get to this point, you certainly don't want to dig too big a hole for yourself.
Dusty Baker will come to the mound.
Scott Sanderson is throwing in the Giants bullpen, and percent had been all pre-planned that if they had to go to their bullpen early, this would be they would go to early.
You know, that's funny you say that. No one can believe I do this. When I see him, I get so happy, so high. And I'm not going to say he's not the best looking guy. He's very attractive. No offense. There's something I feel very connected to. I'm not saying he's another guy, and I'm this man. I get the warm feeling sexually. It's fabulous. We have the best time doing everything from. I mean, it's fun. It's like the best friend that I've always wanted. We had a great relationship our first 6 months. There was a reason I had to pursue there. And it started a snowball effect that you can't stop. Okay. I'm able to that I think is not but what about your children? Do you like your children? How could you neglect your children? You know, you ain't all about that. You tell like story today because you're born and would never see you again on the street. My sister, and my sister, and you did that. My brother did what? You abused her mentally, man. She strung out when you tell her parents to her.
Mercury. Mercury's a good car. I've had a lot of cars. Different kinds. A lot of different kinds of cars. And that was the kind of car I was driving that day. The girl, she was standing on the side of the street where there was this chicken stand. It wasn't Colonel, but it was, nevertheless, it was a chicken stand. And I pulled the Mercury right up there, and I rolled down the window by electric power. She had this leather skirt on, and she had a lot of hair on her arms. I like that a lot. I mean, she has a big bush. I like a big bush. She says, "Are you dating?" I said, "Yeah." She gets in the car. We drive off to this remote location that was comfortable for both she and I. She says, "How much do you want to spend?" I said, "Whatever it takes to see your bush, because I know you've got a big one." $25, she says. That's not chicken feed to a man like me. So I produce the $25. She puts it in her shoe. She lifts up her dress. And there, before me, lay this thin, crooked, uncircumcised penis. You can imagine how badly I wanted my $25 back.
You look so goddamn nervous.
Well, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to be in a room with the murderer. So are you.
This is a nut house. It's not San Quentin. Most of these people don't even know their asses from their elbows. They're just crazy.
That's supposed to comfort me?
Tom Snyder interviewed Manson, and he's still here, still babbling. You're just doing a little story for a little newspaper. Do it.
I mean, you really pissed me off. This is an important issue. You know, they're letting these killers out of these places every day. And you know what? They usually do it again. It could be you next time. I wouldn't be so fucking nonchalant about it. Another thing is the insanity plea. That's bullshit. You kill someone, clearly you're insane. Should that matter?
But wasn't the guy something like 13 or 15 when he did it? It was 25 years ago. I mean, he probably doesn't even remember.
Gotta go work in the yard, gotta go work in the castle, gotta drive the elevator, gotta flake, gotta sweep, gotta mop, gotta clean, gotta do this, gotta do that.
Most of the people in these places end up on the street begging for change and kicking fleas off each other.
Would you please shut up?
Mr. Woolridge? These are the people from that newspaper.
Hi,
Hi,
Jerry Woolridge.
I'm Teresa Tatum, and this is Frances Moorman, and she'll be taking the photographs today.
Have a seat. Is this all of you?
Well, yes.
You're not a man.
No, I'm not. Why did you say that?
Well, to tell the God's honest truth, I sense a miscommunication here or something. I told your editor... Oh, geez, I can't remember his name.
Al Freeman.
Yeah, I told Al that there simply couldn't be any pictures. You see, Carl just won't have his picture taken at all. And anyway, we were under the impression that this was supposed to be just a little story or article or something. Isn't that right, Martin?
Well, I don't know. I guess...
A little article? I mean, I guess so. I mean, it's a story for a very big... Well, it's a newspaper, but it's a very big newspaper.
I mean, Carl's very sensitive about the way he looks, and he doesn't like to be stared at. And he told me one time that if a picture was made of him, it would be permanent proof that he was ugly. He told me that one time.
There was a man named John Liggett Hunter who was in the filling station business, and it was a good filling station business. But he was one of these young men we run across in life, I'm sure you run across him, who did not deserve what he had. Like his wife, Sarah. Beautiful. She was a Georgia peach. In fact, she was more like the picture I had in my mind of a woman than anyone I had ever met. So I took it upon myself to take her away from John Liggett Hunter. Did not deserve her. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it, but he was a Frenchman who claimed to be an Englishman. Took a lot of strong nylon cord to get her away from him, because she was a fighter as well as being a Georgia peach.
Anyway, I told your boss to send a man, and he won't talk to a woman.
I'm pretty goddamn insulted. Look, I'm a very good interviewer. So why don't you just put me in a room with Carl, and we'll see how many questions he answers or doesn't answer.
Shovel just makes too goddamn much racket.
He hasn't talked to a woman in 25 years. Yeah, you'll be the first woman he's talked to in 25 years?
I thought that you said he wouldn't talk to me.
Well, I don't think he will, but I'll ask him. Anyway, I guess you'll be the first woman he's had the opportunity to refuse to talk to in 25 years.
You spend your whole death trying to get out of the womb, and then you spend your whole goddamn life trying to get back in it. But then when you look at it again, face to face, it's just glorious, you know. When you get that little hole, that little eye, it's everything. Nothing like it in the whole world.
You see, Carl, growing up, only knew that sex was bad and that people who did it should be killed for it. You know he slept in a hole in the ground under a woodshed, right?
Well, I knew that he slept in a woodshed of sorts.
Yeah, well, his mother told him that was their punishment, hers and his father's from God, for having sexual intercourse.
Before they were married?
I don't think so, just period, I think. And his mother told him that God gave them the ugliest creation he could think of. And Carl had this book, this notebook, and on each page of the book he'd written Franklin, chapter 4, verse number 1. He wrote that a couple of years ago after he learned how to write, and Franklin is his father's name.
That's really odd.
Ah, they're bringing him down now. I'll go prepare him for you. He's getting out today, and I told him he's going to be seeing a lot of women all the time out there.
You have to make something explode to truly understand it. You have to examine the tiny particles while they're still on fire.
Carl, I got to take you down to the old classroom. Mr. Woolridge wants to see you. Come on, let's go.
Carl, you remember when I was telling you about those people from the newspaper? Well, they want to ask you some questions about your release today. They think it'd make a really interesting little story. And can you talk to them? They're women. Well, I guess miracles do happen. He'll talk to you. I told him it might help him to see you, for when he's out, I mean.
Did he seem upset?
No. Now, Carl will only talk to you. In other words, he doesn't want you asking him anything. No pictures, and please don't stare at him.
Wait a minute. How am I going to conduct an interview if I can't ask him any questions?
I'm sorry, but that's the best we're going to do.
Well, let me ask you something. Why are you letting him out? I mean, what if he does it again? It happens every day, you know.
You talk to the state and the doctors about that. And besides, Carl's been institutionalized since he was 13. He's never shown any signs.
Signs?
Homicidal signs.
Jesus Christ.
Now, will you step outside? Please? Carl doesn't like the light. Fluorescent light.
Well, I reckon what you was wanting to know is what I'm doing in here. I reckon the reason I'm in here is because I killed somebody. But I reckon what you was wanting to know is how come me to kill somebody, so I reckon I'll start at the front and tell you. I lived out back of my mother and father's house most of my life in a little old shed that my daddy'd built for me. They didn't too much want me up there in the house with the rest of them. I mostly just sat out there in the shed or looking at the ground. I didn't have no floor, but I had me a little old hole dug out to lay down in. They had me a quilt or two to put down there. My father was a hard-working man most of his life. Not that I can say the same for myself. I mostly just sat out there in the shed and tinkered around with a lawnmower or two. Went to school off and on from time to time. But the children down there, they made quite a bit of sport of me and made fun of me quite a bit. And some of them roughed me up sometimes. So mostly I just sat out there in the shed. My daddy worked down there at the sawmill. down at the planer mill for an old man named Dixon. Old man Dixon was a very cruel feller. Didn't treat his employees very well. Didn't pay them too much of a wage. Didn't pay my daddy much of a wage. Just barely enough to get by on, I reckon. But I reckon he got by all right. They used to come out, one or the other of them, usually my mother, and feed me pretty regular. So I know he at least got by well enough to where I could have mustard and biscuits 3 or 4 times a week. Well, old man Dixon, he had a boy named Jesse Dixon. Jesse was really more cruel than his daddy was. He made quite a bit of sport of me, and taking advantage of the young girls in the neighborhood quite a bit. They used to say that my mother was a very pretty woman. They used to say that quite a bit from time to time when I was down there at the schoolhouse. And anyway, I reckon you want me to go and tell you what happened, so I reckon I'll tell you. I was sitting out there in the shed one evening, not doing too much, kind of staring at the wall, waiting on my mother to come out and give me my Bible lesson. And I heard a commotion up there in the house. So I run up on the screened-in porch there, looked in the kitchen window, and I seen my mother laying there on the floor. That ain't clothes on him. And Jesse Dixon was laying on top of her, having his way with her. Yeah. Well, I just seen red. I picked up a Kaiser blade that was sitting there on the porch. Some folks called it a SlingBlade. I call it a Kaiser blade. It's just a long wood handle, kind of like an axe handle. Long blade on it, shaped kind of like a banana. Sharp on one edge and dull on the other. It's what the highway boys used to cut down the weeds and whatnot. Well, I went in the kitchen there and I hit Jesse Dixon upside the head with it and knocked him off my mother. Well, I don't reckon that quite satisfied me. So I hit him again with it in the neck with a sharp edge and just plumb near cut his head off. Killed him. My mother, she jumped up in there and she started hollering, "What'd you kill Jesse for? What'd you kill Jesse for?" Well, come to find out, I don't reckon my mother minded what Jesse was doing to her. I reckon that made me madder than what Jesse had made me. I'd taken this Kaiser blade. Some folks called it a SlingBlade. I call it a Kaiser blade. Now, I hit my mother upside the head with it. Killed her. Some folks has asked me if I had it to do over again, would I do it the same way? I reckon I would. Anyhow, they seen fit to put me in here, and here I've been for a great long while. I've learned to read some. Took me 4 years to read the Bible. I reckon I understood a great deal of it. Wasn't what I expected in some places. I slept in a good bed for a great long while. Now they've seen fit to put me out of here. They tell me they're setting me free today. Anyhow, I reckon that's all you need to know. If you need to hear some more details, I reckon I can tell them to you. I don't know if that's enough for your newspaper or not. Anyhow, I reckon that's what you're wanting to know.
Will you kill again, Carl?
I don't reckon I got no reason to kill nobody.
Where will he go?
Well, wherever he wants to. I really don't know.
So he's leaving right now? Right this minute?
Well, we have some paperwork to do, but pretty soon. I mean, don't worry, you'll be gone. You won't see him in the parking lot.
No, that's not what I'm... Will he at least be supervised?
Well, as much as anybody else is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I reckon I'm gonna have to get used to looking at pretty people.
Yes, I guess you are.
I reckon I'm gonna have to get used to them looking at me, too.
You better go get your things.
I ain't got nothing but them books.
Well, you better go get them.
All right, then.
Jerry Woolridge, please call extension 475. Extension 475. Jerry Woolridge.
And the left fielder Rodriguez, neither of whom could get to it, so Clark stays alive. So Barry Bonds steps in. Gross did a nice job on Bonds his first time. He got him on an inside fastball, right on the fist that Bonds could do nothing with. Williams at first, one man out. Top half of inning number 4, Dodgers 2, Giants nothing. And the first pitch to Bonds, swung on, hit right at Karros, diving attempt, throw to second, got him at second base, took off of it off the bag, and we had to hold up for a moment. But they say Offerman kept the leg on the bag just long enough, no chance to get Bonds at first, and Bobby Bonds will go out to plead his case with Steve Ripley. Dusty Baker that went out there to plead his case with Steve Ripley and not Bobby Bonds.
Dusty's got a bigger first step than you thought.
That's true, boy. That's as quick as I've seen Dusty move this year. But it's to no avail, and the bottom line is there are 2 men out. Barry Bonds at first base with Dave Martinez coming up.
Steve Ripley was in a perfect position to make that call. He was down on one knee facing second base.
Let's take a little break here before Dave Martinez steps in. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Giants Baseball Network.
This is Pete Franklin. I'm on Monday through Friday, 2 to 5. Call me up. Hot days at KNBR, 68 San Francisco, the sports leader.
So now it'll be Martinez with Bonds at first base and 2 men out. Martinez, as Hank mentioned earlier, with the big base hit yesterday, a 2-run double that proved to be the difference in the game. And a throw to first base, Bonds scampers back. Bonds very much a threat to go in this situation.